Tonight, you are going to do something your ancestors could not do. You are going to cook your dinner, and you probably won't think about it at all. You'll turn a dial, or press a button, or slide something into a microwave, and a few minutes later, you'll have a hot meal. But here is what nobody tells you. That act, that simple, forgettable act, is the reason you exist, not metaphorically. Literally. Without cooking, there is no you. The real reason humans started cooking food is not what you think. It wasn't about flavor. It wasn't about safety. It wasn't even about survival in the way most people mean it. It was about something far stranger and far more intimate. It was about your brain. And the story of how fire transformed a primate into a person is one of the most radical biological events in the history of life on Earth. Go back 2 million years. Your ancestor, Homo habilis, looks almost nothing like you. Smaller frame, longer arms, a face that juts forward like a chimp's. The brain inside that skull is roughly half the size of yours. And every waking hour of every day is spent doing one thing: eating raw plants, tough roots, whatever meat could be scavenged, fibrous, hard, nutritionally locked. The kind of food that takes 6 hours of chewing to get through. 6 hours. Every single day. Harvard biological anthropologist Richard Wrangham spent decades asking a question that sounds almost too simple. Why do humans have such small guts? Every other great ape, every chimp, every gorilla has a massive digestive tract, long intestines, wide stomachs, built to ferment and process enormous quantities of raw plant matter. But yours is small, shorter than it should be for an animal your size. Why? Wrangham's answer changed how scientists think about human evolution. He called it the cooking hypothesis. And his argument is this: at some point, roughly 1.8 million years ago, one of your ancestors discovered fire, not to keep warm, not to scare off predators, to cook food. And that single discovery rewired the human body from the inside out. Here's what cooking does to food. It breaks it open. Heat denatures proteins, rupturing the chemical bonds that lock nutrients inside. It gelatinizes starches, turning hard, indigestible carbohydrates into soft, bioavailable energy. It predigests, essentially, before the food ever reaches the stomach. So when a cooked meal enters your digestive system, the work is already half done. Your gut doesn't need to be enormous. It can shrink, and it did. This matters more than it sounds, because a gut is expensive, metabolically expensive. Running a large digestive tract costs enormous amounts of energy. Energy your body could be spending somewhere else. And when your gut shrank, that energy had to go somewhere. It went up, into your skull. The human brain is the most metabolically costly organ in the known animal kingdom. It consumes roughly 20% of your body's total energy, even at rest. Even right now, just sitting still, your brain is burning through calories at an extraordinary rate. No other animal on Earth devotes that proportion of its energy budget to thinking, and no other animal cooks. Wrangham's hypothesis, expanded upon by neuroscientist Susanna Herculano-Hauzel, explains why. Herculano-Hauzel spent years mapping the neuron counts of various animals and discovered something striking. Humans have far more neurons than any primate their size should. Not just more, dramatically more. 86 billion neurons packed into a relatively compact skull. To power those neurons on a raw food diet would require a chimpanzee to eat 12 hours a day, every day, without stopping. You physically cannot eat enough raw food to grow and sustain a human brain. It is calorically impossible. Cooking made the impossible possible. A cooked meal delivers significantly more usable calories than the same meal eaten raw. Studies by Wrangham and his colleagues showed that mice fed cooked food gained more body weight than mice fed raw food, even with identical caloric content on paper, because the paper number doesn't account for what the body can actually extract. Cooking unlocks calories that would otherwise pass through you unused. And that unlocking, repeated across thousands of generations, is what built the brain you are using right now to understand these words. But the change didn't stop at your gut and your skull. Think about your face. Your jaw is smaller than any other primate's relative to your body size. Your teeth are tiny, crowded, almost vestigial compared to a chimp's enormous flat molars, built for grinding tough raw vegetation. Your canines are barely there. Your face is flat where theirs juts forward. And your stomach acid, while potent, does not begin to match the concentrated digestive power of a carnivore's. You are not built to eat raw. You are built to eat cooked. You are the only animal on the planet whose anatomy has been fundamentally reshaped by food preparation. Paleoanthropologist Leslie Aiello developed what she called the expensive tissue hypothesis alongside Peter Wheeler, which predicts exactly this: that as the gut shrank in early Homo, brain tissue expanded to fill the metabolic gap. The math works out. The timing works out. The fossil record works out. Skulls from roughly 1.8 million years ago show a rapid and dramatic expansion in cranial capacity that aligns almost precisely with the earliest archaeological evidence of controlled fire use. Your brain did not appear first and then discover fire. Fire appeared, and then your brain grew. Think about what that means. The thing that made you human was not a mutation, not a lucky accident of genetics, not a great leader who inspired a tribe. It was a flame. Somebody's ancestor, a small-brained primate, standing somewhere on the African savanna, held fire and put food near it, and changed the trajectory of every human who would ever live. And now, consider what happened next. Because cooking didn't just change bodies, it changed societies. Food that is cooked must be prepared. Preparation takes time, skill, and often cooperation. Anthropologist Michael Pollan, in his exploration of how humans relate to food, noted something that cuts right to the heart of it. Cooking is the one practice that defines human culture across every society on Earth, without exception. Every human civilization that has ever existed cooks. Not one has ever been discovered that does not. It is not a cultural invention layered on top of biology. It is biology expressing itself through culture. The campfire became the first table, and around that table, something else evolved. Language became more complex because there was time to talk. Social bonds deepened because shared meals create trust. Division of labor emerged because some gathered while others cooked. The entire architecture of human social life, the family unit, the village, the tribe, the civilization, may trace back to the moment someone decided not to eat their food raw. You still carry every trace of this in your body, your small gut, your enormous brain, your flat face and tiny teeth, your dependence on heat to make food digestible. If you tried to survive on raw food alone, the way your pre-cooking ancestors did, you would need to spend most of your waking hours eating, and you still might not get enough calories to keep your brain running at full capacity. Studies of modern raw food dieters consistently show weight loss, fatigue, and nutrient deficiencies. Not because raw food is bad, but because your body was not built for it anymore. It was built for the kitchen. So tonight, when you cook your dinner, something ancient is happening. You are not just feeding yourself. You are participating in the act that built you. The calories your brain will use to dream tonight, to remember a face, to solve a problem tomorrow, to feel something you can't quite name. Those calories are only accessible to you because, roughly 2 million years ago, one of your ancestors held a flame to something inedible and made it into food. Your brain is not just the thing that invented cooking. Your brain is the thing that cooking invented. And every hot meal you eat is the reason it is still here, burning through the dark, thinking. Now don't think and like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing facts about you.